think the easy thing to do is credit Trinidad and say how much they fought and how compact they were and how they weren't giving up. And, and I told the guys, listen, they played great. They really did. They gave everything. But I think our guys matched that and then even exceeded it. It was really difficult game, really difficult team to break down, very physical team. And our guys didn't panic, and they just kept going. We didn't lose structure. We didn't lose determination to try to get the goals. And then when we did, you see the guy. We kept going, and we're able to get 3, which puts us in a very good position to advance. We know we still have work to do. We know there's 90 minutes left. We're only halfway done. But big credit to the guys for the effort they displayed tonight.
Doug,
thanks, Michael. Greg, what kind of lessons can you take from that game where a team is sitting deep and it's hard to break down? And why do you? I know Trinidad played well, but why did it take so long for that breakthrough goal to come?
I think 5-4-1 was complicated. Their side center backs were aggressive, releasing from the line. I felt like we could have released Ballo more often to run behind the back line. When he did that, it was dangerous. He was isolated against their first center back. We lacked a little bit of precision, and you see there was a lot of moves in the first half that were pretty good moves that just the final pass was missing or the first touch was missing. But there were some high-level plays. I mean, I think this Serginho in the second half, some of his combinations and play combining in the penalty box. So there's a lot of good stuff, but we'll keep looking at what we need to do better.
Steve.
Greg, was there, as it was getting later and Trinidad's keeping its composure, and they're also wasting time, and
6 minutes of injury time. That was a tough one.
Were you starting to get worried that it wasn't going to come, even though you were pressing for it?
You know what? So we had subs ready when he called the penalty and then reviewed it, which I think, in my opinion, was hard to overturn. It wasn't clear and obvious error, so that was a strange one. But we had subs ready, and we were confident in the solutions. We're confident the energy they were going to bring. And, the scouting report was these guys, past a certain time, it's tough for them to maintain that. You saw the left wing back was cramping up, and he had a hard time running. And so, that's why I'm also happy, because we just wore them down. And that's also a good quality to have, the persistence.
Up here in the front. Oh, sorry. Get your steps in today.
Greg, how important is it for the team to face teams like this that are going to play in a low block? You've seen it a lot in the last cycle. I'm sure you're going to continue to see it in the cycle, even in the Copa America with other CONCACAF teams. It's something you could see. And how big of a night was it for Ricardo Pepi, again, to come in off the bench and score a goal? And how have you seen him respond in 2023 to the disappointment of not being in Qatar in 22?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's in the past. He's shown it early and often this year that the disappointment is in the past. But I think more importantly, I had a conversation with him about his club situation and being the backup there, being the backup here, and all he's doing is everything he can do. All he does is when he gets the opportunity, he takes advantage of it. And he's in a great spot. If you think about his situation, his team in the league is undefeated. They're doing well in the Champions League. Compared to last year, his team was relegated. The year before, he wasn't playing at Augsburg. So he's significantly increased his situation. It's gotten much better. For us, he's established himself as a guy that's hard to take out because he keeps performing. And I think he's in a great spot. And my guess is over this next year or year and a half, he'll keep growing into a really good player.
Just a quick follow-up on that. He's scored 5 times and now 3 appearances here. Did he mention he likes playing about it, likes playing here, or anything about that, or did you know that coming in?
He mentioned that after a couple years in Europe, he wants to come back and play for Austin FC because he's so prolific here.
Yep. We'll make it easy and pass it around.
Hey, Greg. Cameron Carter-Vickers back in the starting lineup for the first time in a while tonight. Why'd you decide to put him in there, and what'd you make of his performance?
I thought he was solid. That was the same back four we played against Iran in the World Cup, and they were all solid. They really were. Nothing, we knew Trinidad was going to be direct. I thought he dealt with the balls really well, ground cover really well, stepping in front. Our third goal came from him stepping into midfield, winning the ball from their big striker. So I think he played an excellent game, really calm and composed on the ball. Solid performance.
Jeff?
Greg, in past games, you've remarked about how tempo or the lack of it was a bit of an issue. And how much did you think that was an issue tonight? And did you sometimes think that maybe you guys are trying to find like the perfect situation instead of just being a little bit more brute force, if I may say?
Serge, I think, shot from outside the box in the first half. We didn't have many shots from outside the penalty box. It's not something that we'd love, but I think the opportunity was there, and we didn't often take advantage of it. But what I liked was, I think, two things. The first thing was when they did open up and try to attack us, you saw how quickly we were taking advantage of that in the first half, and that was interesting. Like, as soon as they had any opening, boom, we were going after them. Then when they were compact, some of the moves we were trying were high-level type plays, really intricate, high-speed type of plays that just are hard to execute. And that's what I meant by like that final touch being off, the final pass coming off. And, to your point, maybe a little bit too intricate, whereas we could have probably gotten the ball in the box a little bit more, got numbers in and around their back three a little bit more, and then played for some of those second balls.
Jonathan?
Thanks, Michael. Greg, do you think the 4-2-2-2 worked how you wanted it to? And being able to play Pepe and Balogun together late in the game, this program hasn't always had quite the striker depth to be able to do something like that, and I wonder what you make of being able to do that. Thanks.
Yeah, what was happening on the left side, we had Paredes who was holding their wing back in position, and then on the right side, because Malik was tilted inside, the wing back was quickly released into Serge, and we didn't get much of an advantage on that side. But it still put Malik in some decent positions. Against a 5-4-1, it becomes complicated. When they move to a 5-3-1, I think we had more space. We wanted to move Gio more central. But again, it is difficult. And then so then as we move towards the second half, the idea was to get Rico on and really condense the space in the penalty box, have two guys that can challenge for crosses, have guys ready for knockdowns, and get the ball in the box quicker.
Very busy schedule for the U.S. team. Last year, you went to the World Cup. This year, the CONCACAF National League. Is this U.S. team prepared for the Copa America here in the United States?
Yeah, well, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. I talked to the team about it being a 180-minute game, and we're only halfway done. We are in a good position, but crazy things happen. I was on the sideline today thinking this may end 0-0 because of all the chances we were missing, particularly in the second half. But we're in a decent position, but now it's about recovering and focusing and going down to Trinidad and going for a win.
We'll take a few questions from our virtual guests and start with Kyle Bond.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks, Greg. Could you just speak about Anthony Robinson and what he means to this team? When he's out, you guys were sort of trying to figure out who to put there at left back. Now that he's back, goal and an assist, a lot of creativity. He seems like a very, very key player for this team.
No, he is. He's a guy that's hard to replace. Serginho's has been playing on the left with PSV and doing a very good job, so he's an option there. Christopher Lund is coming on as well. We have some younger guys like Caleb Wiley, John Tolkien, who have been doing well. But he's a guy that's hard to catch. He's always in the lineup. He's always playing. He's always fit, and such a strong player. I think today he had an excellent game. Got a goal, got an assist, but it was more than that. It was just the effort, the continual running up and down the line, which he did really well.
Next is Michael DeCourcy.
Yeah, Greg, you didn't get to earlier about playing Pepe and Balo together. You didn't complete that answer, so I wanted to see what you thought of that and what made you decide to go in that direction at that point when you made the subs rather than try to bring on someone who was a true winger to replace Malik?
Yeah, there were a few clips at halftime that we saw where we just had no occupation in the penalty box. We had it was only Ballo against three guys, and we saw, especially against the 5-3-1, there were spaces on the side of their three that we'd be free to cross the ball, but we had a ring of players outside the penalty box and none of them inside. So we needed to adjust that, and so we moved Malik more central in the second half. And then, as he's playing as a forward, there's always an option to bring Rico on. We wanted to put their defense in problems. We wanted them to make it difficult for them, and so Rico was a perfect fit for that.
We'll take our last question from Andrew Jones.
Thank you, Michael. Greg, just want to ask you about those intricate moves that you were glad, those high-speed moves that you wanted your team and you were seeing your team make. The first time that Flo was playing with Malik and Kevin, do you feel against a low block like that it'll just take more chemistry with them to be able to break down over the course of time against a low block like that with just a little more chemistry between them?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's chemistry. The guys look for each other. They have great attitudes. They love playing with each other. I think it's more of just, again, that final last touch on the ball that could have been better. But I like that we were trying. I like some of the movements, and we'll take a look at the video and be able to give you some better answers next time we talk, Andrew.